y'all, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, my name is Melanie and I am Southern Belle Mel. Today we are starting a new series. Woo! We are talking all about LA Girl. We went from AOA to now LA Girl, just really, going through the products, letting you know what is good. And LA Girl is one of those brands that's almost always on sale, so you can always find a fantastic deal. But is it worth the money still? I don't want you to waste your money on a product, even though it's cheap. You want it to still be good. You want to get your money's worth, even if it's just $1, as we learned from the AOA Studio series. And if you haven't watched it, please, after you watch this video, go watch that series. I think it's really good. It is long though, so be prepared. But so today we are talking about the face products for LA Girl. I have the LA Girl Pro Prep HD Primer. We're going to talk about this. I have their foundations, and even this one even has a white one to make it lighter. But both of these we're going to talk about. We have their concealers, and we have the setting powder today. All of these are LA Girl Pro. Don't know if that makes a difference. I don't think they have anything not pro, but this is a pro. So I did my makeup this morning. I started at 4 a.m. I had to wake up my son. I had to get breakfast. So I actually finally finished my makeup around 5:30. So oh yeah, and by the way, it is 7:33 p.m. right now. So with that being said, this is over 12 hours. So we're looking at 14-hour wear right now. And by the way, I'm like digging this eyeliner today. Look how good I got that. Bam. But beyond that, we're looking at the skin. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you me putting it on and my opinions on that. And then I'll recap everything at the end. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the LA Girl Pro Prep HD Smoothing Face Primer. It's very silicone-y looking, like you can barely even see it on my finger. I'm going to concentrate it right around the areas where I have the biggest pores. But I'm not going to put it on my nose because of the fact that if you have, I don't know if you can see it, my nose is kind of shiny. But I have pores, but when I fill them in, my makeup, it doesn't, when I use a silicone primer on my nose, my makeup ends up not adhering. Well, with the ones I've used so far. This one definitely doesn't have any stick to it. It does make it feel just very flawless right through those areas though. I can't even feel the texture of my skin anymore. So it's really cool in that aspect. So for these big pore areas, I think it is great. I don't like to use this for my all over face primer just because, like I said, it doesn't have any stick and it's almost too smooth. Because there's nothing for the foundation to really grip on. With that being said, this is about $5 not on sale. And, I like it for this area just to help it blur and fill in some of these really big pores. I really do like it for that. So if you like to have primers for specific areas of your face, I think, yeah, go ahead and get this. It's great for these areas, your concerned texture areas. But if you're one person that likes one primer for the whole face, you're not going to like this because, like I said, it just doesn't have any stick, and then it ends up, the foundation for some reason just doesn't want to stick on it. And yes, I'm using the LA Girl foundation. So I actually have both kinds of the LA Girl foundation. I have the Pro Matte, and then I have the Pro Coverage. This is like the dewy one. Yes, it even says illuminating on here, and this one is definitely Longwear Matte. This bottle looks like super expensive and super pretty, and I was so excited to try it because, you know, this one, I've liked it for a while, but the bottle doesn't look that expensive, and it looks super cheap. That bottle does. But with that being said, these two separately both have their issues. And I am going to go over both of the issues. We're going to go ahead and start with the matte one. The issue with this is that if I take a beauty blender or even a brush and try to like blend it together with itself, it does, like a beauty blender, it does this weird separation stuff where you can like almost see the texture of the sponge on your face. No matter like how many times you go over it, actually ends up like not just looking good. And it makes me so upset because I feel like it could be beautiful, but there's just something up with the formula and it's just not. It ends up just not being good. And that's really sad. Because I really wanted it to be, because this is only $9, $8.99, not on sale. And just so you know, you can almost all the time find LA Girl on sale. I think I found almost all of mine either buy one get one half off, buy one get one free if they're having like a crazy sale, or 40% off, which is what I like to take advantage of on Ulta. So, I mean, you definitely don't have to pay full price for any of these. I just want to make sure you know that. It's just kind of a waiting game almost. But the color for this one is beautiful. It matches me so great. And it does. It adds coverage. And I like the color. So for this one, I really want to like it because it is so nice looking, and I've heard other people just love it and rave, and I really want to like it. But every single time I've used this, it ends up not working. And then throughout the day, it says long wear, but then it breaks apart on my chin so badly. It does. It's horrible. For this one, the only really thing I don't like about this one is it makes you too dewy, in my opinion. I look wet and I look oily when I first put my makeup on. Like, it looks like I need to take a blotting piece of paper and do that with it, no matter how much powder or anything I put on. But the coverage is great. They have a good shade selection. They even have a white one in these, so you can take this and mix it in with any like too dark foundation. So that's really awesome. I'm not going to be using that today because I don't need to. But what I have found is that if you take an even amount of both of these and add them together, it kind of helps with the things that they have going wrong. Except for long wear. Because throughout the day, it will start breaking up around here. No matter what. Like mixing these two together, it will still do that. Now this one is, I think, $8. The other one's $9. But if you do an equal part of both of them, mix them together, and then apply them, it's going to look gorgeous for a few hours. It's just the timeline for these two together with the like foundation cocktail is only about 4 hours maybe, which is very little. But let's say if you want a foundation specifically for like special events and you don't want to spend as much as like Huda Beauty, why not? I mean, this is the one I'm going to show you today. I'm going to mix both of them. I'm going to do 2 pumps of each. Okay, so with using a beauty blender, it took about 3 layers to get this little spot right here covered as much as I did. I can still see it. That doesn't really bother me. So I wouldn't say this is actually full coverage. I would say this is more light to medium coverage once you build it. It does build very nicely though, so I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all. For people that don't like to have that just all of a sudden just canvas to work with, they like a skin line. They like to be able to see their skin through the makeup. I think this is great because you're not seeing the all of it, you're just seeing some of it. So I don't mind it. And it is like making everything look better. Now, as far as like with the foundation on, this area right here where I put the primer, you can still see the texture. So when you're feeling it, you feel like you really don't. But you can still see the texture once you put the foundation on. The concealer and the Pro powder, setting powder. When it comes to the concealer, I hate the applicator. I think everybody feels that way. The concealer is about $5. And I think because I hate the applicator so much, I end up not liking this concealer just because I don't like the applicator. But it does work. It's not bad. As long as you set it, it will not crease and stuff. I do think they need a new, some more light shades, because this one I feel like is too light. It's Porcelain. But then the light ivory, which is the next one up, I believe. Yeah, because this is GC 969. This is GC 970. It's too yellow and it's too dark for me. So literally I have to use the one that's a little bit too light, because I would prefer my concealer not be darker or the same shade as my actual foundation. So I think they definitely need some new shades for lighter skin tones. Like, I would really like one that has like a more pinky or neutral undertone. I think they're really lacking in that, and I think that'd be a great addition from somebody that has like a pink or neutral undertone. Just saying. But if you have the option in like the foundation, why don't you have it in the concealer? That's just something I don't understand. Okay, so let me blend that out a little bit more. So there is the concealer without being set so far. So if we were to set it, the setting powder does come with like a little thing. Okay. It's very finely milled. Like, you can see the dust coming off my face. And just so you know, I don't like the smell of this. It has a weird smell. But now you can kind of see my issue with it is that there's like this spot right here where it didn't put any powder. It packed it on through here, but not through here. It's super finely milled, and I think it's almost too finely milled, because the fact that when I'm putting it on, it flies up in the air and in my eyes. I don't like that. And my eyes are feeling like they're starting to turn red now. Ugh. It even tastes bad. Okay, well, I'm going to go do the rest of the concealer off camera real quick, and I'm going to set it, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is where we are with the powder and concealer. You can definitely tell I've concealed. I have powder on. I finally figured out what the powder smells like, because I said I hated the smell, and like while I was sitting here doing it, I was like, what does this smell like? What does this smell like? It smells like burnt hair. Like when you're like straightening your hair and it's not all the way dry, or you know, something like that, or like if you're curling it, holding it too long. This is what this smells like. It smells like straight burnt hair. Like, how in the F did you make something smell like burnt hair? I absolutely would not be using that powder today if I was not doing this video for y'all. I am not enjoying this at all. I will never reach for in my day-to-day life at all. Now I did want to, I powdered both sides with using the little puff that comes with it, but I feel like it didn't set in that much. So I'm going to just take my beauty blender and grab a bunch of the powder and try to like reset it. Ooh, it does it. Now that I know what it smells like, it's just even worse. Okay, so it grabbed finally, and it doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute, you know, kind of bake with it. And then we're gonna move on to, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face, but I do wanna show you like me sweeping away and stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this is the LA Girl Pro Powder HD Setting Powder. So I can get past the mildness, the finely milledness of it, where it's like it's like just a powder or almost like a smoke, you know. That's what it acts like when you're doing this. It like smokes in front of your eyes. I can kind of get past that part. What I cannot get past is the smell. I cannot get past that smell. I can't do that. There's just some things that you can't get past, and having something smell like burnt hair and you're putting it around your nose and next to your eyes, it's not comfortable, and it kind of burns. I'm looking because I just saw where it was like clinging weirdly. I was able to buff it away. So this is where we are now. I am going to be using my AOA Studio face powder because I don't think they have a face powder, like a actual like colored face powder. So I'm going to go ahead and be using this one. Because if you really want to stick with this, if you want to stick with like under $5 or under $10, I think this is a great option. I did a whole video about their face product. You can go look at it. It's my very first series, so I'm not going to say too much. Okay, so I think it looks really good now. You can still see this spot over here. I think maybe you can see it a little bit better than you could earlier. I'm not really sure. But my face is set now. Now, one thing about this one that is kind of cool is that normally you don't have to set it. But like I said, with this one, you do. Well, I didn't say you have to. I say I do. And even if you set it, it still looks dewy. But with mixing these two together, I definitely do set it just because I know how this one performs. So I do set it, and then it does look pretty matte now. I just want to make sure you knew that. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the finished product, which you saw in the intro, of course. I haven't touched up besides just taking some oil blotting sheets and pressing them on. I also did go to the chiropractor today, so, you know, they have those little things with, like, cushions on them, and you have to, like, stick your face, like, down in it like this, so I did have to have that done. But it only touched, like, the sides of my face, which... honestly, the sides of my face still look fantastic. It's the, like, middle of the face, like, the T-zone, really, that we're looking at right now that I want to talk about. So we're going to get a little uncomfortable by bringing you in close and really showing off everything. We are starting with the chin, if you couldn't tell. It's super broke apart. See right there, it's like almost even not there. And then if we go up around the nose, it's basically not there. That may be because the chiropractor though. And the forehead is still there, but it's exaggerating my fine lines right here. There we go. You can see that. So, oh, and I barely, the makeup's even coming off my nose. Right there. So I really want to like these. This one is just, I already have pretty oily skin. So this one is just not going to be a long wear for me because it is illuminating and it's not going to help with my oily skin. I do like this one though as like a mix in. That's why I did buy the white. If you don't have oily skin, I think it's so great. Definitely get it. I think it's around $6. And again, you can always find LA Girl on sale. We're going to continue to play with this one, but the times that I've worn it by itself have not been good. So I've been mixing it in. Maybe I'm just going to trade out my primer. Unlike the AOA Studio, I'm not trying to use all LA Girl products. I definitely don't have any of their brushes or their sponge. So I am just using whatever brushes and sponge I want to. The sponge I am using is the Wonder Blender from AOA though. So you know. But so I'm gonna have to try a different primer because this one, it does smooth your skin like when you put it on. But I'll have to say, like, I can still see a lot of texture right through here, and you can kind of see as well. I still see a lot. I don't like this. I just end up not liking it. I want one that's gonna really make my foundation stick and it's gonna stay there and it's gonna look awesome. You know, I want it to really be attached to my face and not just be sitting on top. And that's what I think is happening with this. This isn't soaking into my skin. It's sitting on top of my skin, so my foundation is sitting on top of it. And I don't think I like that at all. I don't even want to use this anymore, honestly. Maybe for no makeup day where I just want to make everything look blurred and, you know, feel like I really have something there, like a barrier, maybe then, but not for like a glam day like today. I don't like that at all. For the concealers, I mean, I like the concealer. I like the consistency. I like the coverage. I like the price. Hate the packaging. Hate the shade range. And you already heard what I feel about the Pro Powder. I mean, it did work. Under my eyes do look really good still. My face definitely, it may have been the combination of all of these, but the oils did start to remove and my foundation and stuff started to remove. So I'm not happy with the powder. I'm going to continue to use it just for the series' sake, but part 2 of this series is going to be the blush, the bronzer, and the highlight. So if you want to just hear about what I have to say about those, definitely watch my next video. And thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you do. And, you know, leave me a comment. Let's get to know each other. Bye, y'all.